Hmm. Hmm. All right. See, one thing I gotta say out loud is it's way harder to draw when you use a regular tablet. Painting is easier in some cases for various reasons, but drawing is always gonna be better. Maybe for me. Well, really, it's the practice, but I feel it's just like simpler. If you do it yourself. Alright, guys, so here's what we're gonna do. This commission, I pretty much know what I'm doing. A couple things still have to figure out, but basically, I'm all there. This is just a cleanup. Normally, I don't do cleanup like this, but you see, with things like these, it's better to work all the kinks out first. Let's see what's left to do here. See, another thing I found out about myself, sometimes for line work, it's a good idea to just kind of let your hand feel out slightly less deliberate lines for especially like the sketching phase. It helps because when you don't really know yet what you want, like you can do chicken scratch kind of line and feel out the thing. But my approach is instead of doing chicken scratch, still keep less lines, less like pencil or paint strokes, I guess. Just instead of that, it's better to kind of like instead of doing this, it's just a bit better to do that, even if you're not sure. it won't look like straight, but don't focus on stuff like straight lines. You don't need straight lines sketching. Yeah, I probably shot myself in the foot trying to stream so late, but such is the day. It's now or never. And I do have to work on this, so. Super late night, ridiculous stream when no one's up. It is. Gotta say, the description, the brief I got for these characters was written in a very poetic way. I'm kind of thinking that maybe when I post this, maybe I wanna save that and just upload it to so everybody can read it. There we go. Okay. Hey guys. Good morning, night, evening, I don't know. I'm sorry again for the timing. But such is life. Now, I want the background for this piece to be colorful, and I kind of have an idea what I'm gonna go for, but before I get there, still gotta work out all the kinks, because then it's gonna be easier in the long run. Big illustrations, it's always better to do plan ahead. Maybe. We'll still see about that hat. Kinda too straight for my liking. Maybe like that. A bit better. So let's see the framing. So I want, okay. See, I'm trying to, when thinking about the composition, the cool idea is usually look how the eye is gonna follow which line. It's like try to make tangents, only not bad ones, but good ones. If you're making like a line, make it so that it follows something. That way, might be a good idea to lead the view. Oh man, let me see if I can fix that. Let's see. Huh. Hmm. Well, no about fixing it, but let's just pull it up and see if that works. Thanks for letting me know though. Now you might be asking, why do I stream at such a late hour? And you'd be right. Normally it's not a good idea. But today was a long day. So I'd rather have something done than nothing at all. Just because I couldn't stream at the right time. Okay. You know, there is a super awesome talk by geez, I don't remember his name right now, but the cool dude from Monty Python, and it's about creativity. And basically, he talks about how creative problem solving can be easily done if you let your brain playfully go about solving the issues. But you have to let it like go on its own, basically. If you're like sitting down to solve the problem, chances are you'll hit a wall. You'll be like, oh, I need to come up with a creative solution. Can't do it. It happens frequently with me. But things get vastly better if you kind of just like don't care and you let yourself kind of play. I just do straight to Photoshop, man. It's just, it saves time to me. And I don't like, it's like, I like doing art, but I don't like fixing things. So the more unnecessary steps I can cut out, the better, I find. And in my case, the unnecessary steps usually are stuff like if you take a piece of paper and you scan it, and then you have to like adjust it, like play with it a bit, figure out the way to make it look nice. You gotta like make sure like it works best. Plus, if you're sketching on paper, I mean, like drawing on paper is great and all, but if suddenly your mind changes and you have like a cool idea, but you're committed to the drawing now, you can't change much because it's paper. You can't do anything about it. And I mean, that's fine. Plus, if you're sketching on paper, it doesn't matter really. Sketching doesn't matter where you do it. Just like Photoshop allows for more potential. Really, not just Photoshop, but like any software. Alright, let's see what I'm doing here. I mean, I find it doesn't matter because if you're doing traditional art, you're gonna be way more deliberate and way more planning about your process anyway. So you'll end up kind of figuring stuff out in multiple steps. Like I don't think if I'd be drawing a piece like with pencils and stuff, I'd probably have like a thumbnail sketch separately from the final, and I'd translate the smaller little doodle on the bigger frame just to make sure. All right, now let's figure something out. Oh boy. I have way too many tabs open. All right, there we go. Okay, I need to figure out some negative space right now. Let me see, let the eye follows here. I mean, I'd like to do traditional art sometime, like like go all the way, you know, like to take like a long time, like a month or something, and finish a huge piece, like a whole pencil rendering or something. That would be cool. But just like thinking about how much planning I'll have to do. I mean, it can be cool if you don't like stress out about it. Unfortunately, I want to produce more right now. So I'll have to not have any originals done in traditional medium for some time. Let's see the progress I did with the sketch. This was the original. No, like this was the doodle. Then we upscale it. I keep working on it, cleaning it up. Oh yeah, like take years. Yeah, that would be cool. Like, when is your painting finished, sir? Like, oh, you know, when I'm tired of waiting for the paint to dry. Like, I just can't take it anymore. Okay. Hmm. Oh, excuse me. Ah, thanks. You know, to be honest, I wish I didn't jump into this painting so fast. I wish I took some time and doodle like way more. But time is money. Can't really afford to spend too much time on it. Okay. Starting to kind of feel pretty good about this. See, the cool thing that I want to do while streaming right now, even if barely anyone will see it, um, I want to try and figure out the, like now I'm figuring out the composition, like just the little tiny details and tweaks. But really, what I want to accomplish for this piece is I'm gonna make a color palette for it. It's gotta have cool tones. I want it to be cold. Well, I mean, not just me. I want to do something cool too. I haven't done anything cool in a while, but the client specified cooler tones as well, so lucky me. Get to try that out now. Alright, so what if I just, for the purposes of time saving, let's copy paste this. Yep. Yes. Good. Also want to break up this. There's a little bit too much parallel happening here that I'm not super comfortable with. Like here and here. I have to break that up. Use the good old technique. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to play music, but if I play music immediately, we'll get into the copyright territory. I don't know what to do about that. Yes, it's a good idea to clean this up. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It will totally destroy the afterwards, which I guess doesn't matter really. But if I want to use that video later, like generally I try to put up a Twitch stream on YouTube if I can for archiving. But YouTube will give me like a billion copyright strikes. Plus, it's kind of late. Music is good now, but sometimes, you know what? This is a thought that I've heard more than once, but there's a very famous thing. An agent of H.R. Geiger, um, Les Barony, he famously did like he answered an email publicly, and an email was something like, "Hello, I'm a big fan of Mr. Giger. I'm an aspiring artist, and could you please help me out? Advice? How can I, be better?" And he just took that, he published it on his website, and he basically went like, "All right, I'm gonna answer this one once and for all because I get like a lot of these." So basically, uh, and then he just like had like a billion, like a list of little helps and advice and rules about what to do that will, and it wasn't so much like about art specifically, it was like kind of like general life advice, which was kind of funny. But one of the things that the dude said, and this is kind of like where I disagree with him, but at the same time I see where he's coming from. He said that no iPods or like just listening to music of any kind while doing artwork, and that sounds like insane to so many people, right? Because we all work with music, but since he's a older dude and also maybe it's just like his personality, but basically the idea behind that is that when you're really like listening to music, you're like focusing on it, you can't really think about what you're doing on the piece, which is true. Like if you're talking to somebody, you can't really focus on the painting if you're like figuring something out. If it's just like rendering or something, like it's just automatic for you, then it's not a big deal. Like obviously. All right, let's see what's happening. I guess I'm kind of okay with this. Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of people also. I don't know what's with our generation, but we like having uh just noise helps to focus. It's like not just me, it's a lot of people. So if you like don't really focus on the music, you just have it like as a sort of like a mood enhancer or like a distraction. That that's okay. Okay, let's see. All right, I had enough. At this point, I'm gonna crop this. Crop the piece where I want it. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I'll delete this line on the left. Okay. I want to break this up more. Okay. Okay. Alright. I consider myself to be nearly there. Almost at the point where it's okay to almost at the point where I'm gonna start thinking about the color palette. which is good. Gotta move on. This piece took a while to work out. Okay. Now, all of these I don't need. We'll keep the sketch. Now, how can I play this? Is this even doing anything? No. Not like this. Yeah, it should be working, man. Oh my god. There we go. Yeah, alright. This gives me a good enough idea. What I'm gonna do. Oh man, sorry guys. Well, to be honest, it's like I don't want to be really loud because it's late. I wonder if I can. Hold on. Hey, can you hear me now? Am I still hearable? But is it better now? Because I went into my settings and it didn't even have the right mic. Yeah, man, no. Alright, yeah, so what happened was my actual mic was off. See, I thought I was just being quiet. Because I didn't want to wake anybody up or be super loud. But turns out, no, actually, it's just the wrong mic. Man, I always have like some kind of technical difficulties. It's like a plague upon my life. Hey man, did you get your commission files? I don't think I've seen an email or anything, just to make sure. Oh yeah, that would be great. If it crashed right now. Well, to be fair, the current Photoshop is probably my favorite Photoshop. It like autosaves and everything. I haven't felt hatred for Photoshop specifically for a long time. Alright. Oh, nice. Thanks, man. Glad to hear. Okay. I'm not satisfied with this face. Well, I kind of am. It's probably gonna be better as I go in painting. Okay. This is where the magic happens. Now, can I... Let's see if I can cheat this. I set this layer, which is like, it's the white background. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. This layer is like just all of that flattened, like both the lines and the white background. I did that because I had to do the adjustment so it's less sketchy. But now if I set it to multiply, I should be able to do this. Well, not this. Let's see. Yes. Victory. Alright. Okay, this is where it gets stupid, because this is where we paint clouds. I don't need this to be precise because make sure this is right too. Yeah, I don't need this to be precise because that can be fixed later. Right now, what's important is colors. So we start with a base. Oh, first of all, actually, let's darken everything. Yeah, like that. Maybe even a bit more. Okay. Have you guys seen the what is it called? The Little Prince, the Netflix version, the one they made. Cause I can't stop thinking about it. Like I watched it with my girlfriend some time ago, like a while ago actually, and well, to be fair, I wasn't exactly sober while watching it, but man, you just can't stop thinking about the thing. It's so surreal. Well, I mean, they made like a movie and put it up on Netflix. It's like a Netflix original. I've I don't know why it just stuck in my memory so much. Again, wasn't exactly sober, but it was an experience. Memorable. Okay, this is where it gets. Well, it doesn't matter really. Can put another layer. See, I'm so used to doing everything on one layer. Because that's how I learned to do everything. I like if you're like learning Photoshop, I suggest kind of just saying fuck it and pretending it's not Photoshop. Like that's how I did it. I just like pretended that it's just a piece of paper, so it's not complicated. I don't have to think about layers. And then you just like add functionality as you actually need it. Like so suddenly you actually catch yourself in a situation where you could use a layer because you need to mask something, or indeed use an actual mask. So you do it then, not like everything at once. Okay, so this dude. So this dude, I actually want him to be dark. Like the plot story, or like the premise, is that he's actually like the smoke is gonna be a part of him. He's the reason smoke exists. I know I say he and it's supposed to be he, but I also kind of made the face feminine because I wanted to distinguish the characters and kind of made it even more weird. So that's what we're going for here. Alright guys, want to hear a secret? So there's like an artist I really like. I like their work a lot. They're kind of like really popular, like, you know, relatively. But the thing is, they're like, I think they're Japanese, and they don't really do much stuff in English, like the social media and like online wise. So it's kind of weird. And for the longest time, I didn't even know what was their uh, if they were like a male or female. I didn't know who it was. Didn't know their name either, because they used like a pseudonym online. And but like literally like some time ago, it turned out they had a Twitter account, and basically I stalked them for like not actually stalk, like, you know, like retroactive stalking when you go back in time and stalk all the past stuff. And I did that solely so I could like maybe figure out if a person is a she or a he or whatever. I think I looked through their account for like 3-4 years of Twitter posts, and I only have a guess. I think it's a she, based like on a couple things, because they never still never specified it in any way, but based from like a couple posts here and there, um, and just like little hints here and there, I think it's a she. Like they would post like some photos of people, but I could never tell if it was supposed to be them or someone else. And they would never draw themselves except for like one comic. So yeah, that's what's up. Basically, this is like a long-winded excuse as to why I went through like years of someone's Twitter to figure out who they are. who they are. So I have a Cintiq, which is like the tablet that has a screen that you can draw on. Like I said it before, but the issue is it's old. So what happens is it completely ruins the colors. Like it's old, it has low resolution, and it's like not even the right like video setting. So basically, it's like VGA or something. So if I like do colors on that screen, it will be completely wrong on this screen. And this is the right screen. Like I'm actually like looking at the main big screen with higher resolution and the proper everything. All right, so here's what we have. See, now that I have a silhouette, it's way easier to see where it could be a cool place to break up things. Break up the silhouette. Still not that used to lines. Okay. Oh no, well I mean it helped me enough to like navigate a Pixiv website to follow them and stuff like that, but I mean I speak a secondary language. I speak Russian, and whenever I try to Google Translate Russian, it's clear that Google Translate doesn't really know much. Like the biggest issues is always like the way people casually talk is almost always gonna confuse the shit out of automatic translators. Like imagine if you're trying to Google Translate English and your phrase is like something like bust a cap in your ass. It's gonna take that literally, you know? And translate each word, and it's not gonna make any sense. Because that's like a phrase. Yeah, like at first like I read that and I'm like, oh my god, Japanese is such a poetic language, like but then it occurs to me like no, probably it's just normal, it's just like this goddamn translate doing its thing again. Okay. I have a philosophy about silhouette building, and the philosophy is contrast simple with a complex. So if I have like a side of a silhouette that's simple, next to it has to be something complex. Like so. I can break up the silhouette in different ways. Oh, and always do your best to try and see that whatever you're painting doesn't look like a penis. I don't know why, there's just like a curse, especially with some people. It doesn't have to do anything with like their, like Freudian or anything. It's just like, it's so easy to accidentally draw a dick. Like you're trying to like imagine if I'm doing like what I'm doing right now, and this silhouette would be here, and then I would just like do this and like extend it a little bit more, and then like if you look at it, you can like start reading dicks into it. Okay, so now I have a base number 1. It's going to be the cloud and the character here. Okay, yeah. Should probably give him. Alright, now it's time for the base 2, like the main character. And I don't want to go too far. This is the color. So this, hold on. Yeah, that's good. Let's ease into the screen. So I'm thinking about getting a camera, like a webcam for my face, so that when I stream, it's not as sad, you know. Like, so you can see my face struggling to look at the canvas. Maybe then that won't be like, that will eliminate so many problems. Like, you will never again come to my stream and be like, oh, that guy doesn't look at the comments. Like, you'll see that my mic is just off. All of it. I have a tendency to make a funny face whenever I paint. And there's actually a very like serious reason for that. And by serious I mean like there's nothing like something, it's not just like I developed a habit, though I might have by this point, but basically what I do, my glasses are way old and they need fixing and just replacement in general. But because of that, they kind of tend to like slide off my face. But instead of just like straight up like, like getting there and like pulling them up, I'll like furrow my face. Like basically I end up like making a face like somebody farted, or like getting like a really serious. Like I've been told like my face gets like super serious, like I'm concerned. And that's because I do that naturally to push my glasses back on my nose. Yeah, I need to duct tape glasses to my face. That sounds like a good idea. Thanks, man. That's how we do it in the modern age. A kiss in the neck. A kiss in the neck. One she doesn't expect. I'm sorry. See, like, the real horror will start when we'll try to really make the palette. Now it's just kind of busy work. And whenever I do like a personal piece or just like a piece that I don't care about, I kind of, honestly, like a lot of the times I skip this and I just go straight into painting. Unless like I'm doing something specific. Because this is done to like make everything easier and so, like create like hard edges where you need it. But you know, thug life. Screw that. Just go one layer, no lines, straight into painting. Minimal sketching, minimal cleanup. Like straight into action. Like it's just like waste no time fussing about. Unfortunately, because like if you actually do that, and I do that, there's like a higher chance that you'll screw up. Like because usually when you sketch or do stuff like that, you work out things about your painting, and chances are you'll encounter a problem before it's too late. But if you go like straight into painting, you'll start painting and you'll go like, oh my god, like perspective is all off, and I did not realize it until now. And I painted all of this face. And I gotta turn it now. So generally, like, if you can do like a sketch with minimal cleanup and it looks fine, that's usually a good place to start. There'll still like a high, like a chance that it'll like have some kind of problem later, and you'll be scratching your head like, oh, why it's not working? It looked fine on the sketch. What's happening? Generally speaking, there's a lower chance of that if you sketch and work things out. Fast and the Furious, man. Yes. Here's like a reason why it doesn't work out sometimes though. Like this is like something you cannot avoid, but the truth is, when you sketch with lines, like when you don't doodle but you like sketch and then you kind of like this is a thing that happens when a person is like you know, fond of line art. Like if line art is a big part of their process. Like like I don't know, Art Germ, Stanley Lau. Like if you're like that, there's a tendency to kind of like love line art, and that's good and all, but because you love line art so much, there's a high chance that when you're making your piece, you'll forget that it's supposed to be a painting, and not like consciously forget, like you'll remember, you'll just kind of subconsciously, like you will not think about it when you make your piece. So like eventually like you'll have like a piece that works as line art, but when you start applying paint to it, like painting and rendering or like just coloring in general, suddenly it doesn't look as good. Why? Why is that? What happened? Well, it's because your piece was not meant to be in painting. Because you were looking at it and figuring it out as if it was just like a straight up line art piece. I mean, you can always do your best and color line art. Like the biggest example of that is, to me, is like a lot of comic books. Like Greg Capullo Who was the ink guy? Like the new 52 series of Batman, like DC Comics. I don't know if it's still the same people, but when the new 52 started, the Batman was done by Greg Capullo and who was the other guy? Forgot the name. But it's like amazing. Jonathan Glapion. That's his name. Like the ink work and like the pencils are great, but the guy who does the ink, I think that's Glapion. He's amazing. He does such good, tremendous work with inks. And not to talk shit on the person who does the coloring, but holy shit, it's just like it feels like the quality of art drops so much when the color is applied. Because the ink piece, the one that's like made in the first place, it's like ink based on pencils, it looks so good. Like the best. Like it's gorgeous. Like the way that guy inks is amazing. But unfortunately then it's ruined with coloring because it's just like because it's like the inks are so strong because it's all about contrast. It kind of reminds me of like Hellboy, like Mike Mignola style. Like you know how it's heavy in the darks, like the contrast of light and shadow is like super strong. But Hellboy kind of works because it's also very graphic. There's not a lot of gradients or like excessive coloring. If if his skin is red, it's just gonna be red. There's not gonna be like highlights and shit. That extra complexity ruins it because the piece is already complex because there's so much attention put into ink work and the contrast between light and shadow. Well, what I'm saying is, like, when you start doing a thing, sometimes you'll get, like, focused on it to the point where additional progress is going to be hard because now you're, like, thinking about it, like, oh, now this is a line art piece. Subconsciously. So, it's good to try and, like, keep thinking, like, what are you going to do with the colors? I guess. Or, like, not spend too time like working out the kinks, unless that's your thing. Like the artist that I mentioned, the Japanese probably lady, probably lady. Um, they do lines like really clean lines, and it works for them. But if I do really clean lines, it kind of stops being a piece about anything but the lines. So I keep myself in check by not going too far. Alright, now that we're here, there's one thing left. Okay. It's kind of hard. I think this is it. Yeah, it looks about right. Guys, have you played Bayonetta? Like I played it on PS3 when it came out. Like I'm a huge fan of Hideki Kamiya games. Like I love Devil May Cry. Well, of course I loved it because I was like an angsty teen, and Dante is so cool, guys, you know? He has like 2 guns and shit. He's like heavy metal and he kicks ass. Fuck the demons, man, right? So cool. Yeah, but I love that. It was like really sad when they were like basically fired. But but Bayonetta is like their, you know, their new Devil May Cry. So of course I was like really interested in it, and I got it for PS3, and I remember kind of like liking it, like, but I didn't spend too much time with it because, as you might know, that the release on consoles was actually kind of plagued. Like it, either they didn't have enough time or something, but it was like really low frame rate on PS3, and there's like nothing you can do about it. Like it wasn't fixed. I don't think so. Because I tried to replay it, it still had that problem. But now that Bayonetta is out on PC, and it's been years, and I'm like, you know what? Now's the time to remember this shit. And, you know, fly to the moon. Let me play among the stars. So I decided that I got the PC version, and literally I had no idea how the hell I did not remember that, but maybe I played on easy because I was like old, like younger or something, like a noob, a puss. But oh my god, I don't remember. I did not remember that these games were so punishing. I mean, I remember playing Devil May Cry on the hardest difficulty, and that was hard as shit, but Bayonetta gets like takes some time to get used to, at least for me. But hey, it's still cool, and I can't get over how ridiculously funny it is. It's so like juvenile, you know. Like I love the stupid like anime bullshit. Like like oh my god, I can't get over this. Yeah, it's like there's like a scene that's like one of my favorites when you're chasing the girl, the little girl that you find. You encounter like a monster that looks exactly like you, and what happens when you chase her down? That like the lady that looks exactly like you, like out of nowhere. This is like not prompted by anything. She just starts dancing like a sexy dance. Keep in mind those like demons are supposed to be actually angels, so why the sexy dance, man? But sexy dance happens, and Bayonetta is like, ah, I see. So she decides to like answer by sexy dancing, and then they sexy dance at each other. You know, to see who's the best at sexy dancing. Like all the like the over sexualized moves with the legs going up and stuff. I love it. It's so stupid. It's the best. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking. Those are called the joys. Oh, and the torture, right? The torture, like movement. Like they like ah! It's great. It's so stupid. It's so like juvenile. Like, see, this is the thing. I actually can't stand like campy like fan service anime bullshit. But I like it when it's deliberate, you know? Like for example, like when a serious anime has like an episode where everyone goes to the beach, and all the girls like have like wardrobe malfunctions or something. It's like a little bit too cringy for me. But like, what's that anime where the schoolgirl outfits are literally the whole like mechanic of how everything in the world works? Kill la Kill. That's the one. And like I like that because that's deliberate. Because like that's the whole point. We're gonna make it stupid as we can. It's like literally how it works. Oh my god, and I love Kill la Kill and like shit like that because like it just defies our logic. Like just oh my god, it goes like to such extremes of tone so quickly. It's my favorite. Like here's an example. Um, well, I mean, you know how Kill la Kill goes, right? It's like stupid bullshit after stupid bullshit, and then there's like the whole like character of Makaro is like the funniest shit ever. But then you have like Kirin Satsuki, and she's like the super serious lady. I mean, she's funny too, right? Because like how they frame her, she's like Matoi Ruko, like off the top of the building, and that's funny. But then you have like the super powerful like music that's like her theme. That's like a march, which I love that track. It's the best. Um, it's just ridiculous. It reminds me of Metal Gear, like which is why I love Metal Gear because like you know like how people complain how some things like oh the tone was all over the place. Yeah, that's the point. Like it goes super dramatic and super serious, like over the top, and then it's funny. Like and then in the next scene it's like super creepy and scary, and then in the next scene like some guy shits his pants. Like that's the whole point. All right, so I'm gonna explain what I'm drawing. Okay, I was given brief for this illustration, and there are two characters in this, and I'm gonna explain how I understand these characters. All right, so basically, these are like two demigods, lords of some realms, or some shit like that. Like it wasn't specified, but basically, uh, strongest eyebrows in the world. I don't know, man. The eyebrows of that guy from what was that anime with like the Furikuri? There you go, Furikuri. Yeah, like hmm, I'll have to figure this out. This is gonna be a slightly trickier part. Yeah, but also, you know, the way you said that, the strongest eyebrows in the world, made me think of Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. She has the strong, like the yeah, the strongest eyebrows in the world. It's just yeah. Oh yeah, fully coolly. I don't know, like it was never translated when I watched it, and so everybody around me called it furikuri. I guess it's cute. All right, let's trick this painting. All right. Yeah, totally, man. Okay, so here's what's happening. This piece has to be cold. I'm kind of like shooting myself in the foot because like those like frames, the windows that I want to be around, I want them to be red. I want them to be like you know the most contrasty, strongest like things. I might put like one extra frame somewhere. Actually, I probably will put it like right here or something. Yeah, like that. just so I don't forget. But yeah, the plot of these characters. All right. So this guy, like the front guy, the one that I spent so much time drawing, he is a dude that grants wishes, but he doesn't grant wishes like on purpose, and he doesn't grant wishes like in a nefarious fashion. He's like the wish master, but not intentionally. He's like an oblivious like wish master. I don't know if you remember that horror movie, which was stupid, but I love it. Yeah, it's like in Wishmaster 2, there's a scene where like some shit goes down in the very beginning, and a dude is crying. Is like, and the dude and Wishmaster goes like, "What do you wish for?" And he's like, "I wish I was never born." He's like, "Granted." And then he painfully, agonizingly reverts into a baby, a cell, and then just disappears in plain sight. Well, he knows it, but he's like a demigod. He just kind of doesn't care, you know? Like he does it and it ruins people's lives. But he just kind of does it. Like he's like above mortals. So he grants wishes. But he doesn't like do it like to fuck with people, even though that's kind of like the effect. But he just kind of like does it involuntarily. That's how I understand it. And this dude, like this spooky, scary dude, is like his like dark side, not like legit dark side, but like meant to be seen as the other side of the coin, you know? Like like this guy's name is Dreamcatcher and this guy's name is Wish Eater. Wish Eater. Get it? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Hold on. All right. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Wait, what if I do this? I wonder if this will work. No, hold on. If I take all these layers and then I put, oh shit, guys, it works. See what I did there? I applied this multiply layer with the line art only on the group that includes all the base layers. So it doesn't go out in the negative space. I didn't know that would work. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool, man. All right. So, okay. Let's name the layers for posterity. Goo. Red curtains. That's a funny joke. Front curtains. Star of the show. The reality is collapsing. Please send help. Okay. Yeah, man, like this is the thing I love about Photoshop. It's so like it's such a huge software that you'll never know powers it has, like until you go exploring, you know? It's kind of cool. Like, okay, this is gonna sound gay, by which I mean like not cool type of gay. But alright, so I love when an artist that I like is inaccessible. Like like if they're like Taiwanese or something, or uh like South Korean or Japanese indeed, because and not just like from there, but also like kind of like only from there. Like you won't find them on DeviantArt or something. And the reason why I like it is because if I care enough, see, like I said before, the way I learn to do art and study from people is to analyze their work. So what I'm saying is, if I like that, I will have to find, analyze, see like if they have any whips, if they have any sketches, to see how they think, how they approach their work, to learn from them. But if they're like only on like some obscure Japanese like Weibo website, right? And I don't like, I mean Weibo like the actual website that's like Chinese Facebook or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Like like how do you do it? Well, you have no choice. You gotta go with Google Translate, make an account on that website, and then just like scour the internet for that information. And it's not easy to do, and that's kind of the whole fun, you know? Like I feel like a researcher who needs to like figure out how like Tibetan monks like knew something back in the day. So I go to Tibet and study shit, you know, like try to like go there with like a little translation booklet that helps me to talk to people so I can find the secret knowledge. Like I feel like an old explorer that way, and I love it. Like Ron Jai is a great painter. I love him, but he I don't think he speaks much English or doesn't want to. So like the only way to find his live streams is like on some like Korean or Chinese websites. It's amazing. Like there's no other way to see it. Um, I mean, people put it up on YouTube, but where's the fun in that, right? So uh, you go on a fucking exploration trip to make that happen. It's great. But okay, so basically this is what I'm gonna go with. Like this is the piece as I'm seeing it right now. I don't think. Yeah, I think the composition works for me right now. And I don't think I want to do much different. Alright, this is where the fucking super hard shit starts, okay? So this guy is actually supposed to be. Let me open the description actually. Let's see if I can find it. Thanks, man. I mean, it's still far from done, but this is the point where, like, ideally, you know what you're doing, and you look at it, and you just kind of know what has to be done. Alright, 1 second. A vaguely humanoid, pure white creature mixed with vestiges of animals. Elegant deer antlers on its head, claws for feet and hands, a narrow whip-like tail lined with spikes. Oh, that's what we forgot. But the main body remained naturally human-shaped. A torso that was too thin and gangly to support any internal organs, a waist that was little better, and legs like stilts. Its head had no features, mimicking a human cranium only in general shape, while its interpretation of hair was thin, white membrane flowing backwards from the crown of its head, parting around the roots of the antlers, and splitting into three filmy sections. A creature that grants wishes without thinking, Dreamcatcher creates more strife than happiness, but in blissful innocence it only knows the presence. The present, an entirely oblivious god. Right? Right, guys? Like, fucking wow. But that is a good point. We forgot about the tail. I forgot about the tail. So let's figure the tail out. Now here's the problem. A tail will be a highly noticeable feature. Actually, if I just do straight up this is fine. Turns out it was easier than I expected. See, I was kind of thinking about perspective with this piece, but suddenly it appears that this would be better. Like, let's do some spikes on this. Yes. Okay. Alright, yeah, this is what we got. This is gonna be my deal. Alright, but this is okay. So far, so good. Figure out the composition, figure out the lines, kind of like have the base for the color palette. This is like still not color palette done, but we have the painting kind of locked and loaded. It's ready to go. Like, this is kind of how I see it. But okay, like, check this out, guys. If I switch it to black and white, it still works. You see? Now the only problem is, because painting is more about lighting than colors, really. This is like the last part of where you can fuck things up. Like, this is still like the hardest thing for me, I think. But it's also the most satisfying when you pull it off. But let's see. Basically, the idea is that this is where you gotta figure out your lighting. So I'm gonna start. I'll make a multiply layer. I'll pick a really cold color. In fact, let's go like airbrush actually, because we were painting, right? All right. And I thought I said multiply. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, you can still see it. It's just too dark. Let's see if this works better. Wait, it's actually because I'm not. What am I talking about? Yes. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, now is the time. What the hell? Oh my god. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Wait, what? Like, gotta figure out the lighting. Normally, I kind of go hard. Hard. But I go hard and don't really compromise much. Except, the thing is, in this particular case, he's supposed to be pure white. Except, you know, like if the client says pure white, that doesn't actually mean pure white. It means that their design is pure white. In reality, in context of your painting, it can't be any color, you know. Like, if the description says that something is gold, that means it might be like red, because gold is reflective. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, let's see. See, I'm using like a hard edge brush. Oh, cool. And the purpose of that is to, well, you can tell. What is the purpose? Outline like shadows and lights. And actually, here's what we're gonna do. Since we're like being all professional, let's save a copy of this whole thing. And this is gonna be the one where we actually apply things and paint things on. Alright. Now we apply the harsher side of life, the darks. Like, this is where I think about core shadow. So it's gonna be darker in some areas. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, there we go. Lighter in some. Maybe not so much for this. It's a bit too dark. Oh, I was wondering what the hell is happening. Did you see that? It was pin light the whole time. Actually, let's switch at this point. I like that this is my first opportunity to draw a man butt. Well, relative man butt, you know. Alright, this is still all like very basic. This is all like still very like just not going too far, not pushing it too much. This is still just to figure things out. Okay. Like the real hard work comes later. Alright, now that I have like somewhat light figured out for this guy, like I still don't know the colors. This is not like still, this is just like basic values to kind of know the lighting. Like the goal here is to separate. Yeah, Menbot man, you know what's up. It's the goal here is like, unless you're painting a certain way or you're coloring a certain way, if you're actually painting, the goal is to know exactly what's happening in the composition. And when you're painting like this, there will be a harsh like a switch between lights and darks, like the contrast between the shadow and the lit areas. So what you want to do is to establish what's the shadow, what's not, and see if it still works with the composition. And now that I said that, I'm thinking about seeing if I can light this creature even further. Like, how far can I push it? Yeah, this would be fine. But then I would have to go back and separate all the shadows again. Okay. I can afford a little bit here. Okay. Alright, good enough. So I'm gonna like keep the red windows till the very end, because I'll have to like paint them out on their own. But now is the time to go kind of hardcore. Alright, so this character is gonna be weird. See, it's like he's not exactly in the light. So I'll have to figure out the best way to light him up. Make sure it still works. Make sure the composition still functions. I mean, it's gonna be harder to see, of course. But I think we'll be fine. Alright, now let's see, like, he's supposed to have like limbs, legs, all kinds of shit forming all over his body. Like freaky. Like, we're thinking pretty freaky here, you know. So my goal here is to kind of create like an illusion of many limbs, tendrils, stuff like that. Kind of want it to be that way. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter how accurate my brush strokes are. Like, it's just kind of to create like a feel and a bit of texture and see if the composition works. Like, after that, we'll get into some real stuff. Like, so far, our sketch layer, our line layer, is still on top of everything. See, that's how you know it didn't get serious yet. Okay. All right. This one here. here. Pretty simple stuff. Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if this is your type of thing, but let me do a little PSA. So, do you like this piece of art? Like, I don't know. This is by Ryota H. Pretty sure that's a Japanese artist, but not the one I was talking about. But if you like this stuff, there's like a whole course on Pixiv that kind of shows his process. And let me find it. And I think it's available for free for like a couple weeks. So let me find it. All right, found it. Here this is. Here's this thing. I will link this in the chat right now because it's available for free right now. So if you want to watch him do this, you can. Like if you want to like save that link or whatever. I don't know if you care. If you're into anime type illustration. You got it, man. Well, I mean, like that's the thing. It's like it's pretty hard sometimes to see their process, even if you know their process. Like generally you can tell. But if you don't know, if you're not like experienced enough just to look at it and kind of figure it out just by looking, um, it's hard to find that stuff sometimes. And Pixiv loves to make you pay for stuff, like premium accounts and stuff, you know. All right, so I think the good news is the shadow plan is working out pretty well for me. I don't have any complaints really. What do you think? Yes or no? Oh, by the way, dude, the commission I did the other day for you, everyone told me that the character, like the way I painted her face looks like me. Wasn't intentional, but hey, guess what? I guess that's the case now. Like a female version of me. Like a lot of people said that. Like 3 whole people. And when three whole people like independently of each other tell you the same thing, you know something's up. Like I looked at it and I realized that really it's just like some features like the nose and the eyes plus compared with the structure of the skull makes it kind of look like me. Do you guys even know what I look like? Do you want to know what I look like? I don't know. You decide. Tell me. I'll do a face reveal if you wanna. Alright, so this is kind of working out for me pretty good. Oh shit, man. Ask and you shall receive. Cause God knows I got that. Give me a sec. Alright, I'm gonna pick the one picture that I like the most because it's the funniest, alright? You ready for this shit? Alright. That's me. And that's my dad. That's us. I think I was like, I don't know, like 5. So now you know. That's what I look like. Except like a billion times older. I mean, like I look something like, I don't know, let's see, like this. Ah, yeah. It's not the best lighting, but there you go. We have fun here. I know I look like a bum. It's pretty normal for me. All right, so let's see. Here's the deal. Let's see. So far I have like a group where all of these base layers are just kept just in case. Let's call it base layers. Now, this is the group where I added the base layers plus shadow. It's not like really complicated, it's just like kind of really simple to get the general idea. See, I don't even care about the background at this point. Now, I take that, I add this, and this is where shit gets complicated, because this, I'm gonna save this sketch just in case on top if I'll ever need it, and I'll hold on. Nah, let's do this. Yes. Okay, so at this point what I did, or did I? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So at this point what I did, thanks man. All of these are now on the same layer. The only thing that's different is like I have the background under my control. Let's see. See? I like the opposite way. I can do this shit. Black and white sketches. I don't remember. Let me check. Dude, I'll do like a line art sketch for 30 bucks. But like a painting, let me see, what do I usually charge? Like, yeah, I'll just do like 50 bucks, I guess, for a more detailed sketch in black and white. Like, normally I don't do black and white, it's just like, no one asks. Wait. Oh shit. Alright, let's keep this way, the way it is. Alright, this is the point where I want to start thinking about shit. So I want to build. Alright, so oh, rough black and white. You know, like, yeah, I'll just do that for like I can do like more clean line art or like a black and white painting, like a speed paint. Like, I'll just do like 30 bucks for either. It's like the same kind of time spent. But this is like, one sec. Let me see if I can do this yet. If I can do this now. Oh yeah, this is like a secret technique. Not really, but it's fun. I think this one, maybe not. What if I reverse this? Nah. What about this one? Not quite. It's pretty okay, but too strong. Well, yeah, I can do that. Like if I say 50 bucks, I'll just do like a speed paint with like one focal point rendered, which means like what you did, man. Like what I did for you, that was like full painted out. Then yeah. Oh, like the super concept art, like thumbnails. Well, okay. See, this is where like the complication things like comes in with the concept art. Usually you don't do one of those, man. You do like a bunch. Like, that's the idea. Because you wanna do as many iterations as you can. Okay, I kind of like this. Not too much. No. Ooh, this is pretty gay, but I like it. No, but yeah, let's do color dodge. But we'll like make it like way less strong. Well, yeah, like I can do like a bunch of thumbnail sketches. Like, it depends like what we're going for. Like how many at a time and shit. Like, if we're developing one character, if we're just like doing concept art for one character, that can be like a lot, that can be not a lot. Like, of course, the problem is I don't really do like that much concept art. Okay. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm trying to build up a color here. Just a sec. I guess we're like cheating a little bit. Cause yeah, this is where it starts building up the colors. Wait, what's happening? Oh, there we go. Let me. I don't know why YouTube does this for me. I don't remember pressing any notification stuff on anything. Man butt. Where would we be without man butt? Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're doing. Well, okay, see, this is like the trick. If I'm art director, it would be simpler because then you just like trust me and I don't have to really do as many iterations. Like when I sent you the sketch, like the thumbnail for the commission, that was like the only thing. Well, not the only thing. I did like a bunch of sketches, but that was like basically the first one that I chose to be the best, and I went with it. I didn't like explore any more options. Like I sketched a bunch, and then I went immediately for my favorite one. Alternatively, if this was like a more of a like a different kind of scenario, I would have shown you more thumbnails, like to make you choose, like which is your favorite, etc. You know? Alright, this is the part that kind of that I dig. See, like these colors are super close together. Now I want to mix them so that it creates like a fun, interesting gradient story. You know, like I can't stop thinking that this guy reminds me of like a xenomorph. Like it's the tail, I think. Let's see. Can actually go even less harsh. starting to get better, you know. Here's like a tip, I guess. Um, Painting with color. If you find yourself to have like really dead paintings because you can't like go to color from black and white, here's how you think of it. In black and white, you just go from black to white, right? There's a gray in the middle. Right? Like that's your whole gradient. But if you color that, it'll be just two colors. And that's boring. That's not how shit works. So you have to like interject more hues, more saturation, and more like different bits and pieces into the gradient that you're building. And that's how you create a palette. See, the cool thing is I don't think I have any blacks here yet. Like, I don't know if you went to art school, but if you go to art school, the teacher will be like, don't use blacks. Or like pure whites. There's a reason they say that, but there's a, like, usually they tell you that because you're a beginner. Because that's basically like dropping an atom bomb. Like, it's too strong. If you're doing that kind of thing, you can't just do that. You can't just like put blacks. Like imagine I want to paint a shadow, right? And then I just go like it's gotta be more subtle than that. You have to build up to black. Like in contrast, sometimes like when you just put things will look black that are not black. You know what I mean? You don't have to make them look even black. They'll just be black on their own. Just solely because they're in an environment where they look like it. See, if I were cool, I would have kept the base layer for this dude and used it, but I'm not cool. I make stupid decisions. Yeah, man. Alright. Where are you guys from? Are you all from US? Are you from like around? What's the demographic here? What's the culture? I'm asking because I want to ask if you are painting an armpit hair for males. Should dudes shave their armpits? Yes or no? And then the follow-up question is like, yeah, and why the hell do states think it's totally cool not to do that? And it's weird to do it. I don't get it. But you know. Hey man, I'm in Vegas. I'm with you, buddy. I know how hot it can be right now. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I don't get it because like I came to the States and it was like a fucking huge surprise to me to learn that most of the US, at least in like where I am, considers that it's weird for dudes to shave their armpits. Like, what's up with that, man? Why? like when somebody like asked me like why do you do it, and then they just laughed and I said yes. They're like, no way, show us, and I showed them and they're like, holy fuck, that's real. It's like, yeah, is that weird? Turns out it is. What the fuck? And I don't get what's weird about it. It's like not about any kind of thing. It's just hygiene. Like you said, it's way too hot sometimes, and you're gonna stink like a pig. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just kind of be a man, embrace it. I mean, you can embrace it all you want, but I don't think girls are gonna embrace your lovely musk. See, this is how I know it's late, because this is the conversation we're having. Oh, by the way, I need to not forget something very important. This image is actually very small right now. You know what? I don't need these shadows. Well, it's not just US culture to be hairy, but there's like hairy and then there's the armpits. Like, I'm cool with hairy dudes being hairy, but armpits are different. I mean, I don't know, like, states are just sometimes weird. Like, states have culturally, like, a lot of interesting contradictions with itself, I find. I guess that's kind of the point. Schizophrenia. Cultural schizophrenia. Alright, this is where it gets complicated. We're getting to the face, guys. Like, it's not. Oh no, I'm gonna go sleep like a normal human being. Like, I'm gonna go actually pretty soon. It's just like right now I want to finish a color palette, meaning that I want to figure some things out. Like what I want to accomplish right now is to have like a whole gradient, so to speak, to work with, so that from then on I can just pull from that. Like I guess I'm gonna go sometime soon actually, now that looking at the time, which is a good point. Alright, we have the reds coming from the windows, so it's okay to put some in the back. Just so nobody forgets. Oh, the butt. Gotta go on the butt. Yeah, boy. Work it, girl. That's fine, man. I do that too. That. Okay. 1 second. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. It was already pretty dark. See, like, I'm trying to make it so that no area is like just straight goes from one color to another, and if it does, there's some kind of fun gradation happening. Like it's a good rule of thumb, make it so that any part that separates like shadow from light can do that. I mean, it's important not to overdo it, of course, but yeah, no. Right, this is where we go into the dark abyss. Mm-hmm. Leg muscles. Yeah, man. Anatomy is your friend. And I don't even know anatomy that well. But like generally the better you know anatomy, the best results you get. Actually, let's yeah. See what we can do with this. If we can create like an interesting color. Oh, come on. So you notice that we're painting on top of the lines now? Lines are starting to disappear. I mean, that's the intention. Okay. Okay. Alright, you know what? So that we don't get too, like, you know, too deep into stuff and stay up for like forever. Let's go into the face. Kind of like render this stuff a bit slowly so we can like kind of put things to end. One second, I'm gonna pull up a reference. References are important. I mean, of course they are, but you know, sometimes you just don't do the things. That's the best thing. Alright, give me a sec. Almost there. Okay. This is like a questionable practice, by the way. I mean, normally people say that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a good idea to reference other artists, if you like don't get too distracted, of course. And by which I mean like if you don't get too influenced easily, because then you'll like there's a chance that you'll get influenced, even if you're like not copying. Like you generally don't want to be in a situation where um, it looks like you copied somebody. But it's a good idea to reference other artists because then if they're better than you, you'll kind of know like you'll have like a good idea of what's the finish line. If you know what I mean. Like if you look after some artists, you want to like look at them and see what they consider to be done. You know. Jeez. And of course, I mean, when I say reference to other artists, I don't mean like copy their like anything. Just like if you look at an artist who's clearly better than you, like you'll just know what's good and what to like something that you want to aim for, you know, like inspiration. Like I guess that would be the best way to put it. I am 25. Jesus, fucking scary to think about. Like it feels like I was like 21 just like yesterday. Okay, let's see. Here's the thing. Like speaking of this specific piece, um like I said, it's right now it's way small. So really, if I want to get serious about painting this face, I would have to up the resolution by a bunch. Like, so let's see. I would have done something like, nah, that's too much. I mean, that's great, but that would just like destroy your computer. Like this, I would do this. Like, let's see. I do that, right? Now everything is way high resolution, so now I can do this. Look. Look how tiny I can go. How detailed I can get. And that's sort of like an important thing. I mean, you can like get pretty detailed, but um if you can help it, work in high resolution because that will help you immensely. Eyeballs are eyeballs. But yeah, basically at this point, like what happens is, like I just proceed to build colors, and it's like a real painting. Like it's gonna slowly build up to more colors, more layers, add more and more and more until eventually it just becomes like looking like a finished product. I mean, of course, with this is gonna take a little bit while longer, so I'll probably be streaming this piece quite a bunch. Okay. See, last night I couldn't go to sleep. I ended up staying up all night and eventually just kind of played a bunch of Bayonetta until I felt tired enough, took a nap, and then just kind of joined society. I mean, that's not a cool thing to do because then you'll just still be tired. Yeah. Okay. Okay. See how I'm like slowly getting to the cold, like as it was requested. Like for me, I don't know, man. It kind of depends on the mood for me, honestly. Generally speaking, I'm a boob guy, but I can't say no to a great boob, a great butt. Just I can't, man. What the hell is happening? Oh shit. See, stuff like this happens too. This is why I sometimes keep a sketch. Like, because it's easy to lose your way you know. Let's yeah, in the process of painting. Like we don't want to go too far from the sketch because, you know, sketch is what we started with. That's usually, unless like you definitely know that you've improved upon the sketch. Sketch has the energy. Man of culture. I don't know, like it really does depend on the mood, you know. Like sometimes I can be into weird stuff, but only sometimes. Like when I'm in the mood for it. Yeah, man, Kill la Kill is great. Hmm. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I see what I've been doing. Oh, Shep. I don't know. I don't think she's weird. I also honestly love Shep just cause she's good. Like she's like a legit good artist. And we have birthdays on almost the same day. Which is very important, of course. Okay. Oh, Reaper pinup. I don't remember that one actually. I'll look it up. I remember her Junkrat pinup. Okay. Alright. You know what? I should start thinking about finishing this for today. It's pretty late. I did some work. I did some progress. Let's add just a little bit of color everywhere just to make it cooler. We're getting there. Can't forget, the hair is a membrane. It's not actually hair. You gotta remember. It's pretty funky. Well, yeah, let's see how far we've come. I mean, there's like a lot left to do, but I feel like we're getting to the point where almost done with the most important things. Yeah, this is where I'll stop. Okay. Things left to do. Obviously paint up every other element, and then I'll also have to work on the background. Okay, let's see how far we've come. So this was our sketch. We painted this stuff in. Right, yeah, that's cool. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll try to stream like maybe tomorrow or sometime like that again. We'll see how far we can go. Like, I'll try to stream as much of this as possible. Good night, everybody. Love ya. Bye.